All right, so today we're breaking down an adventure that is just bonkers. We've got a main villain who isn't after treasure or power. Nope, she's basically using her life of crime as a really intense acting class for her future film career. You heard that right. Let's get into it. So we are dropped right into the thick of it. A passenger train is under attack, and it is absolute chaos. And for our heroes, Honey and Bunny, it suddenly clicks. This isn't some kind of misunderstanding. The people charging alongside the train, they're dacoits, and they are here to rob everyone.
This ambush is really our first good look at who we're dealing with. On one side, you have our small but, surprisingly tough heroes. And on the other, you have the dacoit leader, Ferengi, who is about to make one heck of a dramatic entrance.
Okay, let's meet the players. First up, our heroes, Honey, Bunny, and their crew. They might be small, but they are incredibly clever and resourceful. And then you've got Ferengi's gang. I mean, they look menacing, but honestly, they seem way more interested in striking a pose and trying to speak broken English than actually being effective criminals.
And here it is, the big reveal. This is the detail that changes everything. Our main villain, Ferengi, isn't driven by greed at all. She is literally using this life of crime as a bizarre, real-world acting workshop to get ready for her big break in the movies.
And this one line, this tells you everything you need to know about her. She genuinely sees herself as this tragic heroine, someone who was forced into a life of crime by a cruel twist of fate. So in her head, every single robbery is just a rehearsal for her future starring role.
And guess what? It totally works. Honey and Bunny just completely flipped the script on them. They prove that courage has absolutely nothing to do with size, and they send these completely baffled dacoits running for the hills, totally empty-handed and, frankly, pretty humiliated. But, stopping one robbery is one thing. When our heroes get to the local village, they find everyone is just paralyzed with fear of Ferengi's gang, and they realize pretty fast that the only way to fix this for good is to teach the villagers how to fight for themselves. So Honey and Bunny come up with this amazing four-step plan. And we're not talking swords and shields here, oh no. They're turning everyday household items into a serious arsenal. Brooms and pans become weapons, slingshots become precision instruments, and most importantly, teamwork. Teamwork becomes their ultimate superpower.
Of course, the training is just a complete mess at first. It's a total comedy of errors. You've got villagers accidentally bonking each other with pots, arguing over who's supposed to be aiming where, but underneath all that chaos, something really important is happening. They're actually building skill. They're learning to coordinate, and most of all, they're building confidence.
But here's the thing. While the village is busy with their training montage, Ferengi's gang is not just sitting around. They've figured out exactly who ruined their train robbery, and now they're plotting a revenge that is, of course, just as theatrical as they are.
And this just perfectly captures their special brand of incompetence. Ferengi is trying to issue this menacing order to her gang, but it just comes out as this wonderfully mangled English. That's their whole deal. They have these fearsome plans, but they're delivered with this hilarious ineptitude.
So their big plan is to hit the village right where it hurts, to crush their morale. During a big celebration, they decide they're going to sneak in and kidnap the most beloved person in the village, the elder Dr. Baloo, along with one of our heroes, Honey.
And this right here, this is the ultimate test. The dacoits have seriously raised the stakes. I mean, it's one thing to practice hitting tin cans with a slingshot, but is all that newfound courage going to hold up when their friends' lives are actually on the line?
Okay, so this is it. We've arrived at the ultimate showdown. The villagers, now this kind of makeshift army, are about to march straight into enemy territory for one final, epic confrontation.
And there's no hesitation at all. Led by Bunny, the villagers grab their new weapons, the brooms, the shovels, the whole shebang, and they march directly to the dacoits' hideout. They are ready to get their friends back and put an end to this threat once and for all.
Right before they charge in, Bunny gives them this powerful reminder. And it's really the core message of this whole story, right? It's a callback to that first victory on the train. They might be small, but man, are they mighty.
And what's the dacoits' response? Well, they pull out their signature weapon, of course. More hilariously bad broken English. I think they're trying to command their gang to use chili powder, but it comes out sounding like some kind of bizarre, spicy weather report.
And then the villagers just unleash everything they have. The air is suddenly full of slingshot pellets. Women are charging forward with rolling pins held high, and farm tools have become spears. The dacoits clearly expected terrified victims.
What they got instead was a coordinated and surprisingly fierce army.
So, after that absolutely epic showdown, what happens next? Let's take a look at the victory itself, and more importantly, the lasting impact it has on the entire community.
Well, it is a complete and total victory. The villagers' training pays off big time. Honey and Dr. Balu are rescued, safe and sound, and Ferengi's entire gang gets rounded up and captured. Their reign of theatrical terror is finally over.
And this, right here, this is the real price. The villagers aren't scared or divided anymore. They've actually become a single, united community that has just discovered its own incredible strength.
See, this was never just about beating Firangi. Honey and Bunny gave the village something so much more valuable. They gave them lasting empowerment. They taught them the skills and, just as important, the confidence to protect their home from any threat that might come their way in the future.
And, of course, as she's being hauled off to jail, Ferengi leaves us with one last, perfectly mangled line of dialogue, a truly fitting end to her criminal acting career. It just goes to show you, when a community finds its own power, they can overcome anything. Even a villain who's just trying to rehearse for the big screen.